Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's third video, doing JMA Friday for today's third video. So as always on a Friday, having a detailed look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFSB2 models. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just say that first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released the EC42 day. That's focusing on the UK and Ireland as well. And I've got 10 to 14 day with all of red features coming up for you later on this afternoon as well. We're going to be live at 10:30 with the pub run. Wow. So please keep checking back to the channel for more. Right, okay, let's start off with the week 1. 500 millibar height signing from the Arctic and the North Pole view down from the JMA. So this is the North Pole, somewhere around here, of course, the Arctic circle around there, and then mid-latitudes are through there. So blue is extrapolating to below average heights with low pressure, yellow, orange, red to above average heights with high pressure. These are broken down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 24th today of November to the 1st of December. Over next week, we'll have above average heights, high pressure to our west and northwest. At the same time, below average heights will be sitting to east and northeast, and that's going to be bringing in potentially quite a chilly, quite cold sort of northeasterly type flow in the week ahead. Week 2 will be the 1st to the 8th of December. No real change. Above average heights centred to our west and northwest. Below average heights to our east and southeast. That should again lead to us bringing in the wind from more of a north or a northeasterly direction. So both weeks 1 and 2 potentially looking quite cold. Changes weeks 3 and 4, and we revert to a milder Atlantic flow. So this is the 8th to 22nd of December, and below average heights and low pressure appear in the North Atlantic, and above average heights go down to our south. So after a cold start to December, we revert back to westerly wind, and we turn milder, wetter and windier once again there. Okay, let's have a look at the tropical and mid-latitude views. So we can't see the Arctic, Greenland, North Pole, all those areas off the chart up here. However, as we've had a look at that view down, we know what's going on. UK and Ireland in the top right-hand corner chart as you're looking at it. So, reminder of week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly with above average heights to our west and northwest, and below average heights, low pressure to our east and southeast. Temperature anomalies in the weekend are coming out colder than average for the UK and Ireland, something we've not seen very often during this autumn. Look how cold it is across most parts of Europe as well, so a very cold week to come across much of Europe and into much of North America as well. We see below average temperature, so cold on both sides of the Atlantic, courtesy of that blocking area of high pressure. Of course, as it's cold, it is also relatively dry, so we have dry and average precipitation anomalies with cold and average temperatures for week 1. Week 2 will be the 1st to the 8th of December. Again, will be above average heights out to our west and northwest up here. Below average heights again to our east southeast. That should again lead to us bringing wind from a north or a northeasterly direction. Temperature lines remain colder than average in week 2, so a cold start to December and a cold start to mid-tropical winter. Again, most parts of Europe coming out colder than average. Much of eastern northeast America is also cold average. So again, with that blocking area of high pressure, we see it's cold on both sides of the Atlantic. And again, we see drier than average precipitation anomalies indicated. But of course, it won't be completely dry. These are anomalies to average that we have in weeks 1 and 2. So even if it's a bit drier than average, there will probably still be precipitation around. And if it's colder, some of that could be wintry. Then all change for weeks 3 and 4, which takes us from the 8th to the 22nd. We lose the blocking area of high pressure, and low pressure becomes dominant in the North Atlantic. Again, high pressure goes down towards Spain, and so this brings in the wind from a west or a southwesterly direction. Temperature anomalies therefore lift up. We go milder than average for weeks 3 and 4, 1 to 2 degrees above normal. And of course, with low pressure coming back on the scene, we also turn wetter than average, I should say, as well. So a significant change there as we go further on into December after a cold, relatively wintry start. we turn milder, wetter again as we go further on. Right, that's the JMA done. Let's see how the CFSV2 is comparing. Again, these are 500 millibar height anomalies, and we're breaking down into week periods. The first week period will take from 24th to 30th of November. Above average heights to our north and northwest, below average heights to our east. Change the colour. Wind should be coming in from a north or northeasterly direction there. So again, very much in line for JMA, looking quite cold for week 1. Week 2 also looks cold. It's the 1st to the 7th of December. A blocking area, high pressure in the North Atlantic up to Greenland and Iceland. Below average heights, low pressure through the north and the west of Europe. Again, that should get the wind into the north and the northeast. I see no reason why that won't be colder than average as well, and possibly with some wintry prospects, especially for southern and eastern parts of the country. We lose a blocking signal as we go through into week 3. It's the 8th to 14th of December, so low pressure then centering in the Atlantic. Still a little bit of blocking around Greenland, but much reduced, and so this will get wind back into west or southwesterly, turning milder there into middle of December. And then week 4 is going to be the 15th to 23rd December, running up towards Christmas with below average heights in the Atlantic. So unsettled definitely, perhaps even a return of the deluge, but it will also be turning milder as well, of course, with the air coming in off the Atlantic. Temperature anomalies for week 1 from the 24th to 30th of November are cold average. Look how cold it is across much of Europe as well. So very, very cold across Europe and across much of America. Both the JMA and the CFS are in agreement that week 1 will see a real plunge in temperature on both sides of the Atlantic there, courtesy of a blocking area of high pressure. Week 2 is also colder than average. It's the 1st to the 7th of December. In fact, it's probably colder, I should say, in week 2 than it is in week 1. Very cold again across most parts of Europe. We're talking about like 4 degrees or more below average there through central western parts of Europe. That's really, really cold time of the year. On the other side of the Atlantic in America, things are turning milder there, interestingly. Okay, so that's week 2. Week 3 is going to be the 8th through to the 14th of December. Recovery in the temperature starting to take place there, back closer to normal. The cold temperatures are beginning to retreat away to the east. Eastern America, Southeast America looking cold. Then into week 4, which is the 15th, 21st of December. Now we're seeing a significant change as we go milder than average. Most parts of Europe are going much milder as well. What a change there by the middle of December. Still looking a little bit on the cold side for eastern parts of America. And finally, precipitation. So week 1, 24th of November, 30th of December, 24th of November to 30th of November, should say very much on the dry and average side. Week 2 also looking drier than normal, 1st and 7th of December. But again, if any precipitation does fall, it might be wintry. Week 3 is the 8th to 14th of December, going wetter than average, especially so more to our south, actually. So during the transition, there is going to be a transitional phase, of course, from cold to milder and wetter, colder and drier to milder and wetter conditions. As that happens, that might be when we get the greatest risk of some snow, and that would perhaps be at the beginning of the 2nd week of December, something like that. And then week 4 is just solidly wetter than average. It's 15th, 21st of December. Maybe signs that the deluge is coming back there. It's the second half of the month, but it's a long way off, and we'll see how it develops. So on the face of it, pretty good agreement between the JMA and the CFS for the way forward. And we don't always get that, but looks like weeks 1 and 2 will both be cold. So the last week of November, the 1st week of December, both looking cold. Maybe the 1st week of December colder than week 1, so week 2 could be colder than week 1, but both of them are cold average, relatively dry, but there will be precipitation around, and if it's colder, some of that could be so. Then week 3, 4, that's when we see the change back to milder, wetter conditions. We lose the blocking, low pressure comes back in off the Atlantic, and we turn milder and wetter then into the middle part of December. course, just because they're both in agreement doesn't mean they've got it right, and they could both be, although singing from the same hymn sheet, both wrong. So we shall see how it all pans out. Any forecast on 5-7 days comes with big health warnings and large pictures start attached. As you see the EC 42-day release earlier this morning, you'll know that the ECM model is also in agreement with this. So there is very good agreement from these extended models for a cold start to December before things get milder later on. But as I say, it doesn't necessarily mean that they've got this right, and we should wait and see how it all works out. We'll be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 day, including all of the regular features, and then, of course, we are going to have our pub run live stream for you at 10:30. For JMA Friday this week, that's all now, and thanks for watching.